Welcome to the channel. Have you ever felt a sudden, unexplainable heavy weight in your spirit the moment a certain person entered your life, almost as if your soul was screaming at you to stay away? Today we are diving deep into a divine revelation that many of you have been sensing but couldn't quite put into words. Allah is sending you a direct warning about a specific man who has crossed your path, and ignoring these signs could cost you your peace and your purpose. I am so glad you are here today because by the end of this video, you will have the spiritual clarity to see exactly what is happening behind the scenes of your life. You are going to learn how to identify the hidden agendas, how to protect your light from being drained, and how to stay aligned with your higher calling. The sudden feeling of unease you experience when meeting someone is rarely a coincidence. It is a divine intervention designed to protect your spiritual integrity. This internal alarm is a gift from Allah, serving as a spiritual firewall that detects frequencies that do not align with your light. When your heart feels heavy, or your peace is disrupted without an obvious reason, it is a signal to pause and look deeper than the surface level. As a chosen one, you are equipped with a heightened level of sensitivity that allows you to feel the intentions of others before they are even spoken. This premonition acts as a celestial guidance system, steering you away from paths that would lead to spiritual exhaustion. You must realize that this inner voice is not paranoia, but a refined form of discernment meant to keep your energy focused on your divine purpose. The warning often comes in moments of silence or through recurring thoughts that urge you to maintain your distance. Allah communicates through these subtle shifts in your atmosphere to ensure that you do not fall into traps set by those who operate in darkness. Ignoring these signs is an act of dismissing the protection that has been placed over your life specifically because of your importance. Understanding this warning requires you to trust your spirit over your physical senses or social expectations. Often the world will tell you to be polite or give everyone a chance. But divine wisdom tells you that not everyone deserves access to your inner sanctum. This initial discomfort is the first line of defense, a protective barrier that identifies a man whose presence is intended to derail your progress. By acknowledging this divine premonition, you honor the connection you have with the Creator and validate the strength of your intuition. It is a call to heightened awareness and a reminder that you are never walking this path alone. When the warning arrives, it is your responsibility to listen, observe, and prepare yourself for the spiritual reality that is about to be revealed. The most dangerous aspect of this man is the carefully crafted image he presents to the world, designed to mirror exactly what you want to see. He understands how to use the language of kindness and the appearance of virtue to gain entry into your life, hiding his true nature beneath a layer of artificial charm. This mask is a tool of manipulation, created to bypass your natural defenses and make you question your own instincts. He often studies your values and reflects them back to you, making it seem as though you have found a kindred spirit or a supportive ally. This psychological mirroring is intended to build a false sense of security, making you feel safe enough to lower your guard. However, this persona is hollow, lacking the depth of character and the genuine fear of Allah that a true believer possesses. You may notice small cracks in this facade where his actions do not align with his eloquent words or his public image. These inconsistencies are the keys to seeing through the deception, as a mask can never be worn perfectly at all times. While he may say the right things and follow the right social cues, the underlying energy remains stagnant and disconnected from the truth. This deception is specifically targeted at chosen ones because your light is a valuable resource that he seeks to exploit for his own gain. He knows that a direct approach of negativity would be rejected immediately, so he adopts the role of a friend, a mentor, or a romantic interest to get close. His goal is to blend in until he is in a position to influence your decisions or drain your spiritual energy. To break through this illusion, you must look past the charisma and focus on the fruit of his presence in your life. Does his goodness bring you closer to your divine path, Or does it create confusion, doubt, and a slow drift away from your center? Once you recognize the pattern of the mask, the power he holds over your perception begins to fade, allowing you to see the man for who he truly is. Beyond the physical presence of this individual, there is a distinct energy shift that occurs the moment they enter your space, serving as a spiritual red flag. You might notice a sudden drop in the room's vibration or a feeling of exhaustion that settles over you without explanation. This is your spirit reacting to an incompatible frequency, warning you that the energy this man carries is not conducive to your spiritual health or your peace of mind. These red flags often manifest as a sense of tension in your body, such as a tightening in your chest or a knot in your stomach, which are physical responses to spiritual dissonance. As a chosen one, your vessel is sensitive to the intentions of others, and when someone approaches with hidden darkness, your energy body naturally retreats. This shift is a protective mechanism, signaling that the spiritual atmosphere has been compromised by his presence. You must pay close attention to how your energy behaves when you are around him versus when you are alone or with high vibrational people. If you find yourself feeling drained, confused, or suddenly irritable after an interaction, it is a clear sign that an energy exchange has taken place that was not in your favor. This man may not even say anything offensive, but his aura speaks volumes, broadcasting a frequency of chaos or hidden malice that your soul instantly recognizes. Often these red flags are subtle at first, appearing as small moments of discomfort that you might be tempted to dismiss as your own insecurity. However, in the realm of the spirit, there are no coincidences, and these shifts are intentional markers placed by the divine to get your attention. When the light within you recoils, it is because it senses a shadow that is trying to feed off your vitality or dim your inner glow. Recognizing these spiritual red flags requires you to honor your sensitivity rather than viewing it as a burden. It is your early warning system, allowing you to identify a predator or a distractor long before they reveal their true intentions through their actions. By staying grounded in your own energy, you can observe these shifts objectively and take the necessary steps to withdraw your spirit from a situation that is designed to deplete you. The presence of this man in your life is not an accident. It is a profound test of discernment that Allah is placing before you to strengthen your spiritual muscles. Every chosen one must undergo periods where their ability to distinguish truth from falsehood is put to the ultimate trial. By showing you the signs and giving you the warnings, the divine is inviting you to move beyond surface-level judgment and rely entirely on your spiritual sight. This test is designed to see if you will prioritize your human desire for companionship or social harmony over the clear guidance you are receiving in your heart. It is often a difficult process because the man in question may offer something that appeals to your ego or your worldly needs, making the choice to walk away a true sacrifice. Passing this test means proving that you value your divine connection above any earthly influence or temporary comfort. Allah shows you the truth about people not just to protect you, but to prepare you for greater levels of leadership and spiritual responsibility. If you cannot discern the spirit of a single individual who is close to you, you will not be able to navigate the complex spiritual landscapes that await you on your higher path. This encounter is a training ground, a necessary lesson in identifying wolves in sheep's clothing so that you can protect the mission you have been given. During this time, you may feel a sense of internal conflict as you weigh what you see with your eyes against what you know in your soul. This friction is where the growth happens, forcing you to cultivate a deeper level of trust in the Creator's vision for your life. When you choose to heed the warning, you are essentially telling the universe that you are ready for the next level of your calling, demonstrating that you can no longer be easily deceived. Ultimately, this test of discernment is an act of mercy, ensuring that you do not build your future on a foundation of lies or with people who do not have your best interests at heart. Once you pass this trial by choosing to align with the truth, you will find that your intuition becomes sharper and your path becomes clearer. Allah is refining you through this experience, ensuring that as a chosen one, you walk with a spirit that is both wise and impenetrable. This man will often employ subtle isolation tactics designed to sever your connection with your support system, and ultimately your divine source. He may start by planting small seeds of doubt about your closest friends or family members, suggesting that they don't truly understand your potential, or that they are holding you back. By creating a wedge between you and those who truly love you, he aims to become your primary point of reference, making it easier to manipulate your reality without outside interference. As a chosen one, your strength is magnified when you are aligned with a community of high vibrational individuals, and he recognizes this as a threat. He may use guilt or passive-aggressive behavior to make you feel as though spending time with others is a betrayal of your bond with him. This psychological narrowing of your world is a calculated move to weaken your spiritual reserve, as isolation makes it much harder to maintain the clarity needed to see through his deceptions. The most dangerous part of this isolation is the way he attempts to disrupt your quiet time and your relationship with the divine. He may create chaos or drama during your moments of prayer, meditation, or reflection, ensuring that your mind is preoccupied with him rather than your spiritual growth. By constantly demanding your attention and emotional energy, he creates a spiritual noise that drowns out the gentle whispers of guidance that Allah sends to protect you. He might also try to make you feel that your spiritual gifts or your chosen status make you too different for anyone else to understand, positioning himself as the only person who truly gets you. This is a false sense of exclusivity intended to make you feel dependent on his validation. In reality, he is trying to trap you in a vacuum where his influence is the only voice you hear, effectively cutting off the diverse perspectives that keep you grounded and safe. To combat these tactics, you must remain vigilantly connected to your spiritual practices and your trusted circle, recognizing any attempt to distance you as a red flag of high priority. Reclaiming your space and your time is an act of spiritual warfare that asserts your independence and your loyalty to your higher calling. When you refuse to be isolated, you maintain the strength of your divine connection, rendering his attempts to control or diminish your light completely ineffective. The attraction this man feels toward you is not rooted in an appreciation for your soul, but rather in a desperate need to consume the light you carry. He is drawn to your high vibration, your resilience, and the divine favor that rests upon you, seeing these qualities as something he can use to fill his own internal void. This is the mirror effect, where he reflects your own beauty and virtue back at you, but only because he has no light of his own to offer, because he lacks a genuine spiritual foundation. He views your energy as a source of fuel, seeking to attach himself to you like a parasite to sustain his own ego. He admires your strength not because he wants to support it, but because he wants to possess it and claim it as his own. You may feel a strange sense of being watched or studied rather than being seen or understood, as he meticulously observes how you navigate the world so he can mimic your brilliance. This dynamic creates a hollow relationship where you are constantly giving and he is constantly taking, leaving you feeling spiritually and emotionally depleted. He does not seek to grow with you. He seeks to live through you, using your accomplishments and your character to mask his own inadequacies. To him, you are a trophy or a resource, a bright sun that he wants to orbit because he is unable to generate his own warmth or purpose. It is important to realize that he is incapable of truly loving the real you because he is too blinded by the utility of your light. As long as you are providing value, whether it be emotional support, social status, or spiritual guidance, he will remain close. But the moment you stop serving his needs, his true coldness will emerge. He loves the reflection of your light on his own life, not the person who generates that light, making the connection fundamentally transactional and one-sided. Recognizing that he is drawn to your light and not your soul is a painful but necessary realization that allows you to withdraw your energy. You are not responsible for providing a spiritual spark for someone who refuses to do their own inner work. By understanding that his interest is a form of spiritual theft, you can set firm boundaries and protect your essence from being exploited by someone who sees your divine gifts as nothing more than a commodity. To protect your purpose, you must establish spiritual boundaries that act as a divine shield against this man's intrusive energy. Setting boundaries is not an act of unkindness, but a fundamental requirement for a chosen one to maintain their sanctity. When you allow someone to access your emotional and spiritual space without restriction, you invite chaos into the temple that Allah has entrusted to you. By defining where you end and where He begins, you reclaim the power to decide who is worthy of your time and your energy. These boundaries must be firm and non-negotiable, especially when you deal with someone who is accustomed to overstepping. He may try to guilt-trip you or frame your boundaries as a lack of compassion, but you must remember that your first loyalty is to your Creator and your soul's mission. Protecting your peace means saying no to conversations that drain you and refusing to entertain drama that distracts you from your higher calling. It is about creating a safe harbor for your spirit to rest and recharge without fear of contamination. Spiritual boundaries also involve being selective about the information you share regarding your visions, goals, and divine insights. This man does not have the spiritual maturity to handle the depth of your journey, and sharing your sacred dreams with him is like throwing pearls before swine. By keeping your inner world private, you prevent him from planting seeds of doubt or trying to claim a stake in your future success. Silence and privacy are often the strongest walls you can build around your destiny. Enforcing these limits will inevitably cause friction, as those who benefit from your lack of boundaries will be the most upset when you finally set them. This man may react with anger or subtle manipulation to regain control, but his reaction is simply a confirmation that the boundary was necessary. You must remain grounded in your truth, understanding that your peace is a precious commodity that cannot be traded for social approval or his temporary satisfaction. Ultimately, your peace is the foundation upon which your spiritual work is built, and it must be guarded at all costs. When you prioritize your well-being, you send a clear message to the spiritual realm that you are a faithful steward of your life. Allah honors those who respect themselves enough to walk away from toxicity. By maintaining your boundaries, you ensure that your light remains steady and bright, unbothered by the storms that others try to bring into your life. Breaking the illusion requires you to stop looking at this man through the lens of potential and start seeing him through the lens of truth. It is common for chosen ones to see the best in everyone, but this idealism can be a blind spot that allows a deceiver to linger. You must ask Allah to remove the scales from your eyes so you can see His actions for what they truly are, rather than what you hope they will become. Truth is often uncomfortable, but it is the only thing that can truly set you free from a spiritual trap. The lens of truth reveals the patterns of his behavior that his words have been trying to hide. While he may speak of growth and spirituality, his actions likely show a consistent pattern of selfishness, inconsistency, or a lack of integrity. By documenting these discrepancies, you move away from the emotional confusion he creates and toward a factual understanding of his character. This clarity is essential for making the firm decision to detach and move forward without looking back. You must also recognize that you cannot save him or change his nature through your love or your light. Many chosen ones fall into the trap of thinking their presence will eventually lead this man to a path of righteousness. However, the truth is that his journey is his own, and your role is not to be a sacrifice for someone who is not ready to change. Seeing him through the lens of truth means acknowledging that his path is currently misaligned with yours and that staying close will only hinder your own progress. As the illusion shatters, you may feel a sense of grief or disappointment, not for the man himself, but for the version of him you believed existed. This is a natural part of the awakening process and a sign that you are moving back into alignment with reality. Accepting the truth allows you to stop wasting your spiritual resources on a void that can never be filled. It clears the mental fog and allows you to refocus your energy on the path that has been divinely ordained for you. When you finally view him through the lens of truth, his influence over your mind and heart loses its grip. You no longer feel the need to justify his behavior or wait for him to understand your value. The truth provides a sharp, clean break from the deception, leaving you empowered and ready to embrace the life Allah has planned for you. Standing in the truth is the ultimate act of self-respect and the final step in reclaiming your divine authority. As we close this chapter of divine revelation, remember that your sensitivity is not a weakness, it is your greatest weapon. Allah does not reveal the shadows in others to make you afraid, but to keep you moving toward the light that was destined for you. You are a chosen one for a reason, and your journey is too sacred to be compromised by those who do not honor your spirit. Trust the warnings, protect your peace, and never doubt the inner voice that guides you back to safety. I want to hear from you now. What was the biggest realization you had while listening to this? Does a specific sign resonate with your current situation? To show that you've stayed with me until the very end and to help this message reach more chosen ones who need this protection, please type the word discernment in the comments below. Your support helps the algorithm share this warning with those who are still searching for clarity in the dark. Thank you for being part of this community. Keep shining, keep praying, and always remember, when Allah shows you the truth, believe him the first time.